Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. Today I'm sharing some cards I made using Spellbinders December 2021 Card Kit of the Month. The theme is Beauty is Everywhere. As I'm recording this voiceover, the kit is still available. I do have links provided in the description box if you are interested in signing up to subscribe. So let's go ahead and get started with card design number 1. I'm using a card sketch from Sugar Pea Designs. This is their Sugar Sketch number 8. And if you are interested in any of the sketches I share in this video, I do have all of that information on my coordinating blog post. That link is provided in the description box, or you can simply head over to KristieMarcotte.com. For the background, I have some tone-on-tone green pattern paper. Added a strip of black pattern paper that has a bunch of script or words on it. I'll layer both of those pieces on some black cardstock. The kit does include several sheets of colored cardstock, but I'll be bringing in additional cardstock from my craft room since I love to add a lot of layers to my cards. For the two strips that go across the card horizontally, I have more pattern paper. Before attaching that larger piece, I am putting some scrap cardstock on the right and left side where it goes over that black strip of pattern paper. And that'll just help keep everything at the same level. For that smaller pattern paper piece, I'm just putting one small scrap in the upper left-hand corner. Then I'll attach those using some liquid adhesive. I cut out a scallop circle die cut. I used the card bases that are included in the kit for that. It has a nice linen texture on one side. And I'm using the flower dies that are included in the kit, and there's also some leaves. For that first layer, it's a peach colored cardstock, and for that smaller layer on the inside, I used some vellum. So I'm just putting a drop of glue in the center since I don't want it to show on the petals. For the very inside of the flower, I cut that out from some white glitter cardstock. I'm pressing all those pieces together with the back side of my tweezers, just trying to let that glue adhere. So there's two different sizes of the flower. So there's the larger and also the smaller size. I cut out two of the smaller size. For the sentiment, I'm adding the word thankful. This is one of the die cut pieces that's included in the kit. And I'm just trimming off the little tabs on the edge. Before I adhere the sentiment, I'll glue down the leaf branches. One on the right side of the sentiment and the other more in the middle. So you won't see the very end of those branches, just the leaves. Then for the flowers, I can glue those in place. I'll put two more on the right side and then the final one above in the center. Since part of the sentiment is going over some of the cardstock layers from the branches, I am adding those cardstock pieces on the back side. I'll put liquid adhesive on the back and adhere it to the card. I think these colors look so pretty together. To finish off the card, I'll add a few gem stickers to the left of that black pattern paper panel. These are not included in the kit, but they are made by Spellbinders. I'm using, I believe it's the smallest size. There's 4 different sizes on this sheet. So there is my finished card, and I did make 2 using this sketch. All of my cards in this video are American Standard A2 size, so 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. For card design number 2, the card sketch is from MFT. This is number 494. For the background, I'm using some of the light beige cardstock that's included in the kit, layering it on some blush colored cardstock, and that's from my stash. I added a strip of pattern paper with all these stripes, and some of those stripes have embedded glitter, so it won't shed, but it's nice and sparkly. For the oval, I'm using some beautiful floral pattern paper, layering it on a darker mauve cardstock color. I really like that Spellbinders always seems to include some floral designs in their kit, no matter what the card theme is. Before adhering the oval to my card, I will add some scrap cardstock pieces. Just putting it above and below where that stripe paper is. I'll glue those down using some liquid adhesive. Also using liquid adhesive to attach the oval since it is going on top of that glitter. Want to make sure everything stays attached. I'll be adding one of the die cut pieces with this lovely bouquet, and I did pop it up using the foam dimension that's included in the kit. The sentiment is another die cut piece. Today is your day. I used some foam dimension for that, just a little thinner. It's not the stuff that's in the kit. And for a final finishing touch, I'll add a few of the sequins that are included in the kit. There's this lovely rose gold color and also a pink. So for this card, I'm just using the rose gold. I'll adhere all of those in place using some liquid adhesive, and I'm just pressing them down using the back end of my embellishment wand. So there's my finished card, and this is card number 2. Since the kit has a mixed media feel to it, I decided to try to make a mixed media looking card. It's not my regular style, but I think this one turned out really nice. I have some craft cardstock for the background, layering it on some black cardstock. I cut out 2 rectangles from 2 different pattern papers. One has a newspaper print with some beautiful peach colored flowers, and the other is a tone-on-tone peach colored pattern paper. Adhering both of those at opposite angles. I'll be adding several different die cut pieces to the card, and I also have a strip of the gold mirror cardstock that's included in the kit. Cut a fishtail on the left end. To attach it to the card, I'm using some of the double-sided tape that's included in the kit. With that mirror finish, I just want to make sure everything stays attached. I'll attach that gold strip first. I tilted the card up. I'm trying to make sure to get that strip nice and straight, and sometimes that's hard to do when the other elements on your card aren't straight. I have 3 different die cut pieces, a butterfly, the word today, and a little note card that has specially for you with some flowers in the lower right hand corner. I did put some scrap cardstock on the upper portion of that note paper and then attached it. The butterfly is tucked underneath just that top left corner of the notebook, and then I popped up the word today. So the full sentiment is specially for you today. To finish off the card, I'll add some gold gem stickers, and these are also by Spellbinders. And there is my finished card. Again, I did make 2, and I really like how this one turned out. A little different than my usual style. Now moving on to card design number 4, and this is one of my favorite cards. For the background, I'm using the cardstock from one of the card bases. And I know I could have just used a card base, but I really like to have 120-pound cardstock for all of my cards. I cut out a large scallop oval die cut from this beautiful tone-on-tone blue pattern paper. Next, I'll add a Love from Lizi peel off along the outside 2 edges. These are the silver moon dust color in the pinstripe style. I'll flip over the panel and trim off the extra so it's flush to the edge. Sometimes when I use peel offs, I wrap the end around the back, but I find the moon dust style is a little bit thicker, so I like to just cut them flush. I cut out a couple of butterflies from some white cardstock. The butterfly die is included in the kit. There's the background piece, and then you can add this detailed piece on top. And I decided to have one with that background or the silhouette, and then one with the detail. And I like the white against that blue pattern paper. I put some liquid adhesive on the back just underneath their body. And I did cut out the body piece, but I'll be attaching that later. First, I'll add some paint splatter to the background. I have some shimmer paint, and then I'll also add a dark navy blue splatter. It's hard to see the shimmer paint on the video, but it does show up in person when you tilt the card and the light hits it. It's really pretty. And I will have links in the description box if you're interested in the paints that I'm using in this video. Now I'm adding the dark blue, and I didn't have enough water at first, so there wasn't any paint coming off the paintbrush. So once that is all dry, I can add my card front onto a card base. And for this card, there won't be that outside cardstock matted layer. Next, I'll attach the bodies for the butterfly, and I cut these out from some silver mirror cardstock I have on hand. Overall, this card is very simple, but I think adding those extra details with the splatter and the gold mirror cardstock really make a difference. For the sentiment, I'm using one of the die cut pieces. This is Happy Birthday, and I did pop it up using some thin foam squares. I'll just adhere it underneath that lower butterfly, and then I'll also add just a few of the smallest size gem stickers from the crystal mix. So there is my finished card, and I did make 2 using this design. I think the white and the blue look so pretty together. I didn't want to add any other colors. For card design number 5, I have some pattern paper for the background that really has that mixed media look. I'll be adding one of the chipboard frames. These do have adhesive on the back, but I like to add some extra adhesive just in case. So I'm using some of the double-sided tape that's included in the kit. Putting it on the back side of the opening, then I'll attach a piece of vellum. I really like the look of vellum over pattern paper. It tones down that design just a little bit. So once I have the vellum in place, I'll put some more of the double-sided tape on the back of the frame. Then I'll remove the release paper and adhere that frame onto the card. We'll also be using some of the layered stickers and this beautiful, I think it's an acetate butterfly that has a glitter finish on it. And both of them have some foam dimension. This card will be on the thicker side, so it's not ideal to put through the mail. You'd have to pay extra postage. I will probably set this card aside and use it as a Mother's Day card for next year for the local retirement home. I usually need around 45 to 60 Mother's Day cards, and it's the perfect opportunity to give them my very thick card since I don't have to mail them. So I attach that floral sticker in the lower right-hand corner of the frame. And in the lower left-hand corner on the pattern paper, there's a butterfly underneath, and I did cover up most of that with the frame. It looked a little odd with the bottom part of the butterfly sticking out, so that's where I put this acetate butterfly on top. Then to finish up the card, I'll add some more of the rose gold sequins. 2 in the upper left-hand corner and 1 in the lower right-hand corner. And I left off a sentiment so I can add one on the inside. And there is my finished card. I did make 2 using this design. For the second card, I used a different frame and a different sticker since there's only 1 of each in the kit. Now moving on to card design number 6. This is a very simple card. I have some beautiful pattern paper for the background with the large bird and a little doily behind it. I really wanted to feature most of that image on my card. I cut down that panel to 5 1/4 inches by 4 inches. At the very top, I'm adding a Love from Lizi peel off in gold using the narrowest width. And I also cut out this beautiful lacy border die cut, and this is a die that's included in the kit. Put liquid adhesive on the back and adhere it right underneath that gold peel off. The lacy border is a little bit wider than my card panel since I did cut mine down smaller than an A2 size, but I'll just flip over this piece and trim off the extra. Then I'll put ATG tape on the back and layer this panel on some black cardstock. Then I can put my card front onto a card base. And I am leaving that 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. And of course, I ran out of ATG tape, so the very center I decided to use some liquid adhesive until I can change my tape gun. For this sentiment, I'm stamping it on that leftover 2-inch pattern paper piece. Using some Distress Oxide ink, this is the ground espresso color. And it matches really nicely with that brownish gray color on the pattern paper. And this is Where There Is Love, There Is Life. And it has this beautiful frame around it. Putting some liquid adhesive on the back and gluing it directly down onto the card. And to finish off the card, I'll add a few of the smallest size gold gem stickers. I really wanted to keep this card nice and flat. So there's my finished card, and I did make 2 using this design. For card design number 7, I'm using another card sketch for inspiration. This is Paper Play Sketches number 17. Some of the pattern paper that's in the kit is black and white, and it's so pretty, but I thought it would be fun to add just that pop of color with it. So the very background paper, I'm using some cardstock from the card bases. I have that linen side up. I have a strip of the floral black and white paper, layering everything on some black cardstock. For the other pattern paper, this is the Tone on Tone peach pattern that I used on a previous card, and I layered that on some black cardstock as well. So once I've attached both of those panels, I'll layer the white panel on some peach colored cardstock and then again on some black cardstock. I love having the 2 different colors for my matted layers. I can put my card front onto a card base. I'll be adding a few of the die cut pieces. I have 2 butterflies, and the sentiment, there is simply nothing better. And I did pop this up using some foam dimension. For the butterflies, I've already put some foam dimension on the back side, just where their body is. I'll put the black and white butterfly on the right and the peach orange colored butterfly off on the left. And a final finishing touch, adding some more of the gem stickers in the gold color. So there is my finished card. I love how this one turned out. The peach and the orange and black and white look so pretty together. Such a simple card. It does have a lot of layers though. For card design number 8, I decided to use the same paper play card sketch. I used the cardstock from the card bases for the background. I have 2 different pattern papers, this fun lattice design that has glitter embedded all over it. And then the one on the front has a bunch of script, but you can't really read what it says. Layering everything on some black cardstock. I did put that scrap piece of cardstock on the very right side of this last little rectangle, just to keep everything nice and level. Then I'll layer this panel on some pinkish cardstock, and then again on some black cardstock. Put my card front onto a card base. I'll be bringing in a couple more of the die cut pieces. One of my favorite images is this beautiful pink glittery flower. I will add some thin foam dimension on the back side. I do have to cut down some of those squares since there's several areas on the flower with the leaves that are very thin. I can remove the release paper and I'll adhere it in the center of that front rectangle panel. For the sentiment, I have the word precious, and this is one of the die cut pieces. I'm adding some scrap cardstock and also a small scrap of the pattern paper on the left side, and I'll glue it down in that lower left hand corner. To finish off the card, I'll add 2 of the sequins in the upper left hand corner, tucking them in the opening with all that lattice design. I think it fits nicely there. So there's my finished card, and I did make 2 using this design. The pink flower is so pretty and super sparkly. Now moving on to card design number 9. For the background, I'm using some of the brick pattern paper, layering it on some green cardstock. Put my card front onto a card base, and I will be leaving that 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. I'll add a strip of this green pattern paper that has sort of a peach colored messy brick look all over it, and it does have that embedded glitter finish. Layered it on some green cardstock. I'll also be adding a scallop rectangle that I cut out from the gold mirror cardstock. I didn't cut out a full rectangle since you won't see the bottom portion. I'll put some of the double-sided tape on the back, and then I'll adhere it to the card over that green strip. Next, I'll attach one of the floral die cut pieces. Now this does have a grid design on the background and some words, and you can read them slightly, so I wanted to make sure that it wasn't upside down. For the sentiment, I'll add the die cut piece that has "For You." Just glue that down using some of the double-sided tape. And finishing off the card with some more of the gold gem stickers. So there is my finished card. Fairly simple design and super sparkly. Now moving on to card design number 10, and this is my final card design. The card sketch is from Sugar Pea Designs Sugar Sketch number 8. I have some blush or mauve colored pattern paper for the background. For that smaller rectangle, I did cut the pattern paper a little bit wider than the measurements I have indicated on the sketch. So this is 3¼ inches wide and it's still 4 inches tall. I'll layer everything on some black cardstock. I thought this paper was so pretty with all the hot air balloons. So layering it first on the black and then again on this blush colored cardstock. For this card, I won't have any of the white card base showing. Since there isn't any white on the pattern paper, I felt that little bit of white from the card base would look too bright. Next, I'll add one of the die cut pieces. This is Enjoy the Little Things, and I did put some foam dimension on the back. I like how it fit perfectly between the two hot air balloons. And for a final finishing touch, I'll add some of the rose gold sequins. Very simple card, but I really love this pattern paper. There's so many different designs in the paper pad that you don't need to add a lot of extra to your cards. Again, I did make 2 using this sketch. Now here's another look at the 20 cards I made using Spellbinders December 2021 Card Kit of the Month. The theme is Beauty is Everywhere. As I'm recording this voiceover, the kit is now available, and I do have links provided in the description box if you are interested in subscribing. I'll also add a link for the past kits that are currently available and also the kit extras. Sometimes Spellbinders offers the paper pad, the die cut, or the stickers as an individual purchase. Spellbinders also has some value clubs. So if you're interested in more than one club kit every month, you can choose one of those options and save some money. They have several different die of the month clubs. There's a glimmer and also a stamp of the month set. Lots of really fun options, and you can always head over to their blog for extra inspiration. I always look forward to using their card kit of the month. It is packed full of products. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.